Hey there and welcome back to lesson 2 in this mini course on email marketing for course creators. I'm Monica and today I actually have my hands on. And that part. We're talking about one of the biggest mistakes course creators make when it comes to email marketing, and that's building an email list that's full of freebie seekers instead of buyers. Now, I know growing an email list can feel hard. It can feel like it's a numbers game. And you might be thinking, if I just get more subscribers, I'll make more sales, right? Well, not exactly. The truth is having a big email list kind of means nothing if the people on it aren't interested in buying from you. So today I'm going to show you, one, why having a massive list isn't the goal, but having an engaged list is. 2, how to attract subscribers who actually want to buy from you. And 3, how to avoid building a list full of people who just grab your freebies and disappear. And if you've been struggling to get consistent sales from your list, this lesson is going to change the way you think. So let's dive in. One of the biggest myths in email marketing is that bigger is better. That if you just grow your email list, your revenue will grow too. Wrong. I've seen plenty of course creators with inflated email lists that were struggling to make even $1,000 per month. Whether we're talking about automation or individual campaigns or launches, having an inflated email list is not going to help. Whereas a small engaged list of a couple hundred subscribers, thousands of subscribers if we're talking about a big email list, who are actually interested in your course will always outperform a big list of freebie seekers who never open your emails anymore. So think about it like this. Would you rather have 1,000 random people at your next webinar who are there just because I know they're curious, they don't really know exactly what's happening, or maybe they want that awesome freebie you promised? Or would you rather have 100 people who are actually your target audience? They are very aware of the problem you're solving and are actually interested in learning how they can work with you or in learning from you. And that makes a world of difference. That's because engagement matters more than size. And the more engaged your list is, the more money you'll make. And I'm talking about open, click, conversions, as well as engagement in the form of reading, replying, forwarding. So what's the biggest reason most course creators struggle when it comes to lead generation? Well, they keep attracting the wrong people. I know, because I've tried many different ways to grow my email list until I realized that 1,000 random people isn't better than 250 people of my ideal clients. I would rather have 250 course creators there who I know are interested in email marketing rather than 1,000 people who are interested in email marketing but they're not course creators. Yes, you can say that down the line that would be effective because everybody who hears from you could help you down the line. And we're going to talk about segmentation in another lesson because that's how you can actually navigate an email list that you don't really know much about. But personally, for me, as a beginner with done for you services as well, I would rather have ideal clients on my email list. It makes marketing a lot more effective. And if you're a solopreneur like I am, you want to make sure that all your marketing efforts translate to some kind of direct result in your brand. Because with everything you have going on, and I'm sure you too have a lot, it's really hard to justify running your business when things aren't really working. How do you know if that video has actually generated any results? How do you know if an email is actually going to bring you clients? Because that's where we're at right now. I know marketing feels like it's this, fishing game where you just throw your hook and then you hope the right people or some people just take the bait. That's not going to work anymore, especially with competition being so high, and it will continue to increase. So it really matters for you to consider how you want to grow your business and what you're willing to test to see if, things actually work. And in the process, you might deprioritize some channels and prioritize others. And I'm not saying email marketing should be the one to prioritize right now, but eventually in your business, you're gonna get there. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so you want to build a list that actually buys from you. Well, you need to attract the right subscribers, ideally from day one. So here's how. Step 1. Create a lead magnet that attracts future buyers. Now, a lead magnet is the free resource you give away in exchange for someone's email address. But here's where most course creators go wrong. They offer a lead magnet that has nothing to do with their course. Here's an example. So let's say you teach business English, but your lead magnet is 10 fun English phrases to use at the party. That's interesting, and it will appeal to everyone who's interested in learning English, whereas your courses are actually only going to help people who are interested in business English. So here's another way you can use that same lead magnet, but make it specific to your audience and course. Because you want to attract professionals, right? Who want to improve their English at work. So here's a better lead magnet title and potentially content. I assume the content can be easily changed. So the 10 most common phrases used in business meetings and how to use them correctly. That's one. If you want to continue with the party angle, you just say at office parties. So you will impress your colleagues, or you'll have more fun, so you'll feel more confident, so you'll feel like you belong. All of these are desires your audience might have if you have done your market research properly. But making it specific is actually helping you down the line. It tells you who is interested in what you have to offer, and it connects the dots between here's who I am, I have this problem, and I'm looking for a solution. Are you the guy who's gonna help me find that solution? And you're like, yeah, and at every step of your funnel and at every step of their interaction with you, you can actually demonstrate and make sure that you have a unique positioning in the market, because let's face it, there are hundreds of people who teach English. Why not, seize the opportunity and claim your kingdom, so to speak. This helps with making your brand memorable, because at the end of the day, yes, you can help everybody, but not everybody will want your help. It's also not effective. Okay, so making it specific will attract people who actually want to improve their business English, right? AKA potential students. Now, your lead magnet should naturally lead people to your course. If it doesn't, you're building a list of random subscribers who might never want to buy from you, or when they buy, they actually feel like they haven't really made the best decision, which generates cognitive dissonance, and that's a whole other thing. You'll find a video on that on the channel. It's about how to reduce it in your email marketing. And if you're wondering why that matters, well, everybody has some form of cognitive dissonance, which is like regretting or doubting their buying decision, and that's something you don't want. It usually leads to refund requests or dissatisfaction down the line, and you actually want people to come back to you and enjoy learning from you. Okay, another rant offer. Step 2. Make it clear who your lead magnet is for. Just as I mentioned before, right? So a vague lead magnet attracts everyone. But you don't want everyone. You want the right people. So here's how to be clear about who your lead magnet is for. So instead of saying something like free Instagram marketing guide, you could say free Instagram strategy for online course creators who want more sales from their social media, or from their followers, or from their stories, or from their carousel posts, or from their lives. Whatever it is that you teach best, whatever it is that you know your audience is interested in. And the more specific you are, the better. Step 3. Use your email sign-up page to qualify subscribers. This is a missed opportunity, and I've seen that happen so often lately, especially since more and more people are starting to use AI to help them write these, let's call them low-hanging fruit. But an opt-in page isn't just, there to collect emails. It's there to pre-frame your offer. So instead of just saying, download my free guide, say something like, this guide is for you if you're a course creator who wants to grow your audience and sell more courses with email marketing. That way, people self-qualify before they even join your list, which is good because if you do that, they get your freebie, they are more committed to staying on your email list. Versus people who get their freebie, they might or not check it out or actually use it, and eventually they will just end up unsubscribing a few days later, which is something that is good because we don't want people who are not going to buy on your email list. We're talking about effective marketing strategies here. You're actually doing a really good job serving your audience by not trying to help everybody. But that's a topic for another video. Okay, so you now have learned how to create a lead magnet that attracts buyers instead of freebie seekers. So now what? Well, here's what you can do immediately after someone joins your list. 1, send a welcome email that sets expectations. And that first email you send is the most important. It sets the tone for your relationship. So what should you have in your welcome email? Well, 1, a reminder of why they joined, signed up, and what they got from you. A teaser of what they can expect to learn from you. A simple call to action like reply to this email, watch this video, claim your lead magnet, download it here, come say hi. A soft introduction to your course, but not a hard pitch. That's very important. Think about it this way. If I go to a store and the clerk comes by or the store assistant comes by immediately after I just walk through the door, and they're like, would you like to buy something? Here's a discount. We have this amazing offer for today only. If you buy one, you get one for free or whatever that is. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I don't know what I want yet. I'm just looking for stuff. Let's see if I'll be inspired. However, it's good to mention that there are people who are ready to buy off the bat. That's where a 3-part comes in handy. And again, that's a story for another time. But the 3-part is basically what they see after they sign up for the lead magnet. And that's because there's a small percentage of people, let's say 3%, 7% I've seen, who are ready to buy a low-cost item right off the bat. Those are people who are highly aware of the problem they have. And if your lead magnet and 3-part offer are connected nicely, you're basically saying, so you have this problem, yes, the lead magnet is going to help, but if you do have this problem, this might help you even better. Check it out. Coming back. Look, the idea is that most people aren't ready for a hard pitch, but you can position your course in their mind, let's just say, from the beginning. It could be just something you do when you introduce yourself. So, hey, I'm Monica. I'm so happy you're here. I'm really curious to learn about your business. Over the years, I've worked with many course creators, and I've been so inspired to see what they can do when they have the right email marketing strategies. With my course or in my membership, they're saying things like XYZ, or they were able to achieve some really cool things, and I'm so happy that you're here and you're interested in learning how to make this channel work for you too. If you want to have some curiosity, you can use the PS and say, I'm happy you're here, very grateful for the opportunity to teach you about email marketing. I've been doing this in my Email Accelerator membership for a few years now, and the results are amazing. It's really fascinating to see what a good course creator can do with the right strategies. If you're curious about some of the results they got, just click here and you'll be able to read more case studies. So that takes them to the case study social proof section of your sales page. And that way you are exposing them to your course without having a hard pitch like, hey, expiring discount. Coming back. Okay. Something very important for the welcome email. Don't wait too long to send that first email. It should really come immediately. If you wait too long, your subscribers will forget who you are. I kid you not. That also applies to the frequency you're sending your regular emails. I unsubscribe weekly from people who just drop in my inbox and they're like, hey Monica, it's been like 5 months. And I'm like, who is this person? Unsubscribe. And that's like a best case scenario. Most people don't even acknowledge the fact that at some point I joined their email list. I have so many rants. Step 2, segment your subscribers immediately. Now, if your course has different types of buyers, and most do, you should segment your list from day 1. Here's an example. So if you teach business English, you might have different subscribers. 1, a subscriber who needs English for corporate jobs. 2, a subscriber who needs English for entrepreneurship, for selling their business online or for scoring investments or funding. 3, subscribers who are freelancers working with English-speaking clients. Now, each one of them is going to have different pain points. And they're going to have different time frames for what they want to achieve, which means that your emails should be tailored, which is very interesting because you can't really do that on social media, can you? But with email marketing, segmentation, and automations, you can actually do that while you sleep. That's pretty cool, right? So if you segment your audience immediately, again, you can send them targeted emails, and targeted emails can feel more personal and relevant, which means more sales. Step 3, engage your list before you sell. Now, this is the biggest mistake I see course creators make. They only email when they want to sell something. That's not working. Instead, warm up your email list with value-based content. You can send them quick wins like easy, actionable tips they can use right now. Share a personal story every now and again, whether it's related to your course topic or to the mission or to the impact you want to drop in the world. That's an amazing way to connect with your audience. It also helps to share testimonials, case studies, success stories from your community or other students as well. Make sure throughout time you tackle different objections or false belief. Like, who is this course for? Who can thrive in your community? How much time does it actually take to achieve the outcome you're promising? And these 3 ideas, they're so easily done when you demonstrate with case studies, right? So do that, and by the time you introduce your course, your audience will be ready to buy because they already trust you. So here's what I want you to do next. 1, if you already have a lead magnet, go back and ask yourself, does this attract my ideal student? What type of people am I actually attracting? If you don't have a lead magnet, start doing the research and find one that actually aligns perfectly with your course. So this is it for this lesson. Come back because the next lesson we're diving deep into email segmentation, why it's the key to higher conversions and how to use it to send the right message to the right person. If this video helped you, just drop me a comment. I'd love to hear about this. And of course, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson. I'll see you soon.